Powered by Rock Alliance. Very important today. Lifetime value. I cannot stress the importance. If there's one thing you take away from anything that I've ever said, this would probably be what I'd leave you with, is lifetime value. As you know, it is one of the core values of our company, and we hold it dearly. But lifetime value and understanding what it means to your business is ultimately going to help you be the best when it comes to building relationships, building new clientele, and ultimately more sales. The understanding of lifetime value is simple. It's an equation on what is one customer worth to you in terms of the entirety of your business, however long that looks. For the sake of this, we're going to use 20 years in business. What is one client worth to you, and what are you going to do to treat them like they've been a client of yours for 20 years? So before we get started, I want to frame this for you before I put the math on the board. Number one is, we are not saying that people are worth dollar amounts. We're saying that you should treat them like they're worth, that they've already given you that dollar amount. Whatever that amount is, you should treat them like they already just handed it to you. But that's not just with clients. You see, or potential clients. You see, in real estate, what happens is we're obsessed with this word lead. Lead generation, lead optimization, lead conversion rate, online leads, Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads, you name it, there's some type of lead to be generated. Now, you have these blinders on, and they're called lead blinders. Today, we're going to take them off. You no longer have lead blinders on, because what happens is when you have lead blinders on, you only treat people with intent to help that have a big old sticker slapped on their forehead that says, I want to buy or I want to sell real estate. You know, I have a house to sell or I have a house to buy. Oh, you're right there for them, right? You're right there introducing yourself, making them feel good, you know, treating them, being the solution for them, going the extra mile. But why would you not do that with everybody? My point being is that you don't know who somebody is. You don't know what their situation is. You don't know who they know. So why would you treat them as if they're nobody to you unless they tell you that they have intent to buy or sell real estate in the immediate future? See, the mistake that most brokers make is there's a wide sea of business out there. It's big, it's huge. But all they narrow in on and focus is people that raise their hand and say, I want to buy or sell real estate. They don't treat people with their lifetime value. People, here I'm not saying leads, I'm not saying clients, I'm not saying referrals. They don't treat people with their lifetime value. Just because that bartender that tried to strike up conversation, you were too busy scrolling through social media, just because he doesn't have a stamp on his forehead that says, I have a house to sell, doesn't mean that you don't have to give him the time of day. An easy 3-minute conversation could easily lead to a new client, but you have the lead blinders on. And that happens everywhere. The grocery store, social media, family get-togethers, networking events. So what I'm gonna do is frame this for you, that you're gonna now view the people you meet, the interactions you have 100% differently. You're gonna view them different, because guess what? You never get another chance at a first impression. You don't get another listing appointment. You don't get another first introduction. It only happens once. And the feeling that you leave people with is going to be how they remember you. And guess what? People don't remember stats. They don't remember statistics. They don't remember anything else you tell them. They only remember the way you make them feel. And you only get one shot at it. Let me explain. If you're in business for 20 years, okay, and this is year 10, let's just say you sell your first client, you sell them a home, okay? So that's going to be one client times 250,000 sales price is going to equal 7,500 in GCI, okay? So the STIR method, STIR, we just went over it, okay? That's how you create business that comes to you. That's how you create a network of referrals. The other way you can think about it is it's like creating reoccurring revenue with your relationships, okay? If you apply the STIR method to this one client for the course of the 20 years, they should be able to refer you at least 2 people per year. If you properly surprise them, teach, create inefficiency, and then reconnect. If you do that the right way, you should be able to create 40 referrals, 20 years times 2 referrals per year, okay? So 40 referrals, okay? Now, the average homeowner or buyer is gonna buy or sell a property every 5 to 7 years. So let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that this first buyer of yours in the next 20 years he does 3 transactions with you, okay? 1, 2, 3. So our total number, 3 transactions, and our total number is now 43 deals, okay? 43 deals. So let's go ahead and take 43 and multiply it by 7,500. So I already know the math on this, and roughly it's going to be, let me see where I can write this here. It's going to be 322,000. $322,000 of gross commission income is what that one client is worth to you as a lifetime value. So your next conversation, I want you to think about this. The next person you meet, I want you to treat them like they've already given you $322,000. As a matter of fact, if I told you that every interaction you have, every person you meet today going forward is worth $322,000, how urgent would you be to get on the phone? How urgent would you be to go to networking events? How urgent would you be to be a one-way street in terms of reaching out and building relationships? I'd bet you'd be pretty urgent about it and pretty consistent. That is how you're gonna run your real estate business, and that's how you're gonna make an impact, is by creating a wealth of relationships, by being conscientious of the way you make people feel, because that is the only thing they remember. But in terms of your business, relating it back to your sales business, it's worth $322,000 to you, so you might as well do it anyway. But the purpose of all of this is to remember is that you don't have to have the most clients. You don't have to have this crazy online lead gen, turn and burn mentality of people. You can create reoccurring revenue through people, but you have to treat them with their lifetime value. You don't need the most clients, you just need the most loyal. And if there's one thing I can leave you with, it's start practicing this today. As you remember from the introduction, we talked about taking the lessons you learned and applying them to your business and your personal life today. I promise you, if you take this exercise and you think conscientiously about the lifetime value of the next person you meet, of the people you already know, make a conscious effort to make them feel valued, it's gonna drastically change the course of your business and of your life.